You don't need to shout, you don't need to argue, you don't need to lose control. The most dangerous response to aggression is silence, composure, and precision. Aggressive people feed on weakness. They want you to react. They want to dominate. But the moment you respond with calm, controlled words that flip the power, they feel it. And deep down, they know they've already lost. This isn't about being rude. It's about setting a standard, one they can't reach. In this video, you'll learn 6 verbal tricks that don't just shut aggressive people down. They leave them embarrassed, exposed, and sorry. Not by force, but by self-mastery. Let's begin. Trick number 1, let me know when you're done. The first vocal trick isn't flashy or loud. There is no sarcasm or insulting language. It's not meant to win an argument or make someone look bad in public. That is not even close to how dangerous it is. Peaceful. It's clean. It can't be broken. That's why it goes so deep. Think about this. Someone comes up to you out of the blue, angry, hostile, and their eyes are glowing with passion. They start yelling, accusing, cutting people off, and maybe even making fun of them. Their body is tensed up with anger, and they speak like they have weapons. When people are in this storm, they usually do one of 2 things. Either they fight back, which makes things worse, or they shut down completely, letting the attacker take over the room. This is not what a Stoic does, though. He doesn't move. His stance stays the same. He is still breathing slowly. He looks the angry person straight in the eye, but not with anger, fear, or even judgment. Instead, he looks them in the eye with a silence that says, "I see you, and I'm not moved." When things are really tense, he only says one short, quiet line back. "Let me know when you're done." That's it. Not a story. Do not insult. No lessons on philosophy. It was just a simple statement of not being involved. And that line, said with coolness, says more than 100 jabs put together. The beat is broken, which is why it works so well. Aggression needs energy. It needs confusion, reaction, and opposition. It feeds off of other people's feelings. You take away the attacker's power when you stop that movement. You're like a wall that they can't get over. You let them scream, point, blame, and flail, and when they're done, they realize they wore themselves out in front of someone who didn't even move an arm. That does feel like shame, but not the kind you give them. They give it to themselves. Watching someone punch someone underwater while you stay on the beach is like that. If someone is able to provoke you, know that your mind is involved in the provocation. Epictetus said. This is what the trick is all about. You get rid of your involvement. You separate yourself from the situation by standing still, not going away. You don't get to use my feelings just because you've lost control of yours. You make it very clear. That divide is terrible for someone who wants to control or abuse others through violence. And they have to deal with their outburst without having to think about how to respond. They feel like someone is seeing them. Found out. Not smart. The real truth is that most people aren't really dangerous. They're just mentally weak. To feel strong, they rely on showmanship, fear, and control. These strategies don't work when you look them in the eye and say, "Let me know when you're done." This makes their armor break. Their voice gets weak. Because of the excitement, they become awkwardly quiet. Because you took away your attention, which was the one thing they really wanted. That's when they understand they were never really in charge. You were. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best way to get back at someone who hurt you is to be unlike them." That's precisely what this line does. You don't bring yourself down. You don't copy their chaos. You show them more important things. You turn into an image, but not a skewed one. A mirror that is clear and still and shows them their temper tantrum in real time. That's why men often feel ashamed when they see how angry they are, without an answer, a reason, or an emotional wall to bounce off of. It slowly gets there. It takes time, but it stays. There's also something deeper going on psychologically. You're not telling them to shut up when you use this line. You're not telling them they're wrong. They are free to burn out because you let them. You're letting them finish their rant and making it clear that their feelings won't affect what you do next. This trick is very nasty because of that subtle power. They're not being shut up. You're just not letting them set the tone. Once someone knows they can't pull you into their storm, they start to wonder why they started it in the first place. Seneca, who was also a great Stoic thinker, said, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces trouble." That's because he can't prove himself. Now is your chance to show what you can do. This is not done by yelling, but by not shouting, not by arguing with each other, but by being quiet. She did not win, but by staying calm. The winner is the person who doesn't do anything, because he shows that anger, fear, or performance can't take anything away from him. He is in charge. Of course, there's an art to the way you say it. The phrase is less powerful if you say it with sarcasm or arrogance. It turns into passive-aggressive. But it's powerful when you say it straight out without any ego involved. The tone needs to be even. The body needs to be calm. Make steady, soft eye contact. You don't want to win a moment. You're sticking to your beliefs. It's called Stoicism. That is strong self-respect. This trick also works after a while. This might not end the fight right away. There will be people who stumble over more words to get you to respond. Some people will be lost when they leave. But the seed is already there. The moment will be very clear in their minds when they're alone later. They'll remember how they yelled at someone who didn't move. They'll remember a man who made them feel like a kid pulling a prank in front of a stone figure. It will make them a little less proud to remember that. That gets the job done. Not too loud, not with violence. One person who doesn't blink, though. There's a strength in the silence, a sound that doesn't scream, but towers. That's what this saying means. Man who has trained himself to control his urges says that. He knows that real strength is not in how hard you hit, but in how fully you refuse to be moved. And that kind of restraint is dangerous in today's world, where everyone is ready to blow up at the smallest irritation. Don't make as much noise as the person who is trying to scare, threaten, or attack you next time they come at you. Do not follow their lead. Wait a minute. Allow them to talk. Let them dump all the stuff that's been making a mess inside. When they want you to break, scream, or bite back, just stay still. Look them in the eye. Say, "Tell me when you're done." Since that line, said with poise, cuts deeper than any insult. That sound is the voice of a man who won't give up his emotions. A man who won't give up his peace to listen to someone else's rant. A man who doesn't move, not because he's weak, but because he's trained. That's what makes people feel bad. People think twice about how they approach you because of that. There is something very deep and quiet about that that makes you the strongest man in the room. Trick number 2. Interesting. Why do you feel that way? The second vocal trick looks easy but is actually quite hard. It looks like interest at first glance, kind of like a question. It's like a request. But it's really a strong turnaround. It takes all the mental force someone puts on you and sends it back at them in a calm, quiet, and surgical way. People who insult, make fun of, or criticize you, whether in public or in private, are not just talking, they are striking. Their words make you feel something. They want to hurt. More than that, they want to get something from you. A rise, an answer, giving up control over yourself, still and calm when you look at them and say, "Interesting." You don't just avoid the attack when they ask, "Why do you feel that way?" You change the whole balance of power in the room. This question isn't just about words. It's also about which frames to use. Before you even ask, they already have the upper hand. They're talking to you and trying to explain what's real. But when you ask them why they feel that way, you take the attention off of yourself and put it on them. Then all of a sudden, they're not the attacker. They are the ones being tried. It's now becoming clear that what was once a charge is truth. That's why the trick is so cruel. Because people who are mean don't want to be seen. They want to scare you, not be asked to think about yourself. They want you to be protective, not detached. And when you ask them to explain their feelings, their logic, or their thinking, they almost never can. They're here to play chess with their hands. They were asked to explain the board. As the Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius said in his book Meditations, you have power over your mind, not over events outside of you. Know this and you will be strong. That line is an art. It's a how-to guide for times like these. When someone talks back to you, they're testing the limits of your inner world. They want to get in. They want to mess with you. They want to use your feelings against you. But if you answer with interest, you show that your walls are still up, that you are in charge of your mental kingdom. You also show them that you are now the one asking questions. That gives you the psychological upper hand. People think that the person who is talking has power. In fact, though, the person who asks the questions decides where things go. It is a struggle to ask, "Why do you feel that way?" when you mean to be calm. It makes the person who thought they were putting pressure on you feel bad. Now they have to figure out what's going on with their emotions out loud and in real time. They can't do that most of the time. The truth is that most people who strike out aren't thinking things through. They are driven by anger, pride, fear, and unresolved hurts that they can't name. They either shut down or come apart when you make them name it. In this case, what you're really doing is forcing awareness. You bring their unconscious anger to the surface, where it gets smaller. You're not fighting your feelings with more feelings. You're letting reason and understanding break it down. And it almost always leads to the same thing: confusion. Getting lost. Strange quiet. There is also sorrow sometimes. The great thing about this trick is that it never sounds mean. At least not at first glance. It's not a power play. It sounds like a real desire. It sounds like grown-up talk. But it's really a sword wrapped in silk on the inside. Let us now take a closer look at the question itself. It sounds like you're being defensive when you ask, "Why would you say that?" It sounds like you're being hostile when you ask, "What's your problem?" "Why do you feel that way?" you ask, which changes the tone to something more emotional. That's the important thing. Because most people who are mean want to look strong, but as soon as you start talking about how they feel, their stance falls apart. Strength turns into weakness. Dominance turns into being seen. This was something that the Stoics really got. Epictetus said that when someone insults you, you should think about whether or not what they're saying is true, not to protect yourself, but to find out more. But if you find no truth, you don't have to say anything. He said, "It's not things that bother us, but how we think they should be understood." If someone tells you you're not good enough or you'll never succeed, you should say, "Interesting." By asking, "Why do you feel that way?" you show that you're not upset. You're showing that you don't believe what they say unless they can back it up. And you're asking them to give you that reason, which they almost never can. When that happens, their anger turns into fear. Because if they don't have a good reason, They feel left out. You've opened the door for a conversation, which you will now lead if they do try to explain. You're now a therapist instead of a target. From prey to reflection. Either they see how weak their attack was in that mirror, or they change their minds. They know they didn't get what they came for either way, though. They came to take charge. They got lost and left. And there's a social power here that you might not notice. If this happens in front of other people, like coworkers, strangers, or even friends, your self-control stands out. People pay attention. They can feel the change. The person who yelled is coming clean now. The person who was hurt is now calm and interested. That difference makes people admire and sometimes even feel bad about themselves. Because staying calm when things go wrong is attractive. Anyone who sees it will know that your base is stronger. Anger is like a ruin. It breaks itself on what it falls. Seneca once said, "You can stop the anger by asking, 'Why do you feel that way?' You don't get in the way. You don't save it. There's a calm place that you hold up until it falls apart from its own weight, and the attacker starts to feel it when they realize they just broke their own armor in front of you." What a shame. Being aware of oneself. It hurts to know that someone knew about their weakness and didn't even say anything. It's already too late if they don't answer the question. You turned their attack into something about them. They can see that your sense of self is not being questioned, that what they think doesn't put your identity at risk, that you are the type of man who reacts to disagreement with curiosity instead of fear. That thought will stay with them long after the talk is over. So don't defend yourself the next time someone insults you, throws shade, or tries to upset you with open or passive violence. Do not bark back. Do not shrink. Take a cool, steady look at them and say, "That's interesting. Why do you feel that way?" Hang the words there like a mirror. Allow the quiet to do its thing. Also, watch what happens when someone learns they have to defend themselves in front of the man they tried to put down. After that, they feel bad. Not since you attacked them, but since you didn't. The mirror was in your hands. You asked the question. You didn't move while they fell apart. That's how Stoics do things. Strength and silence, clear language, peace and control. Because you own the room when you own your mind. Trick number 3. I see you're upset. Take your time. The third word trick is sneaky but very dangerous. It doesn't fight back. It doesn't even protect. It looks at the fire and puts it out before it spreads by watching. Your first reaction might be to tense up when someone comes into your space and starts yelling, interrupting, and throwing words like knives. You could raise your voice or try to set them straight. But that makes you the same as them. It makes sense that they brought a mess of emotions into the room. This part doesn't. It's not inside of it. Stay calm, in control. Better than, "I can tell you're mad." Don't rush. It's easy to be fooled by those 8 words. They have an effect, though. That's like jumping into emotional judo. You're not facing the threat straight on. It's clear that it didn't move you because you're letting it fly by. You don't shoot back. You don't even move. Instead, you do something much more humiliating to the aggressive mind. You recognize how they feel without giving into it. You don't talk back to them, but you don't have to either, because you've already won by choosing not to respond. Don't take this term to mean that you're okay with them being rude. It means you're letting them know that their feelings are theirs and not yours. In your mind, you're making a clean break. "You're right" is not what you say. "I'm sorry" is not what you say. You're telling them, "I see that you're mad, and I'm not going to add to your chaos." What's so scary about it is that because people who use violence as a tool expect things to get worse. It feeds them. It's what they need. But if you listen to their storm without getting involved, you stop them from getting fuel, and they fall apart from the weight of their own feelings. The Roman Stoic Seneca once said, "A sword never kills anyone. It is a tool in the killer's hand. That's all anger is, a tool, just a gun. It needs to be pointed at someone, just like any other gun. But when you say, 'I can tell you're mad,' by saying, 'Take your time,' you take away your goal. You take away the attacker's weapons not by challenging them, but by making them realize they can't touch your calm. The fact that they can't drag your honor through the mud. The shame then sets in, because they are the only ones punching now. You're just standing there, not moving or being surprised. People who are aggressive often don't know how much they show when they strike out. For them, it looks like they're being strong. They're really showing weakness, not having any power. A childish failure to handle their feelings. And when you react with this calm, caring distance, you pull the spotlight right on their fear. You didn't have to win the fight. You didn't need to clap back. You just told them the truth. You're upset, and let them feel it without getting involved. That's not giving up. Now you're on emotional high ground. The catch is that you don't even need them to calm down. That's not the point. What you need to do is keep your focus, honesty, and calm, because you've already lost if you let their energy set the tone for your answer. In his Meditations, Marcus Aurelius says, "The best way to get back at someone who hurt you is to be unlike them." That's what this saying means. A refusal to act like someone who is unstable. You don't need to get even. You don't need to say anything else. Your calm is what's wrong with you. This is also very smart from a political point of view. Take your time is a polite way to let them know that you're not in a hurry to win the fight. You are not here to play rough with your feelings. You are no longer on the court. Even though you don't say it, you're telling them that your peace doesn't rely on their agreement, their opinion, or even their ability to control their feelings. And that is very uncomfortable for someone who is angry, because it shows that they're mentally weak, which they don't want to see, while you are strong. In real life, think about how this would go. Imagine that a friend comes rushing into your office and says you did something that you didn't do. Their sound is very loud. Their arms are flapping. They're tense. You don't protect yourself or fight back. Instead, you wait for a moment of silence. Look them in the eyes and say, "I can see you're mad." Don't rush. You just did 3 things. First, you kept the surroundings under your control. You've also shown them you're not scared. Third, you've made a limit that can't be seen. You can be mad, but I won't take it on for you, written in the sand. In other words, this is Stoicism at work. Epictetus said that each of us is in charge of our own thoughts, that other people's feelings don't have to be ours. If someone says bad things about you and it's true, fix yourself, he said. Laugh at it if it's a lie. But what do you do when someone is very angry with you? You don't laugh. You're not right. You look around. You stay out of their storm. And by telling them to take your time, you show that nothing they say can make you respond. And that is a more powerful kind of power. Don't mix this up with passive behavior. You're not being a wimp here. In this picture, you are staying still while someone else moves and shakes. It's like the difference between a pool and a storm cloud. One is always loud, dramatic, and moving. The other one, it's deep, quiet, and can't be disturbed unless it wants to be. That lake is you. When you talk from that place, it doesn't just calm things down. It makes the people who came to bother you look bad. Not because you hit them, but since you didn't. These clever words are a quiet revolution in a world where people are always responding. Everything changes because of it. It's not enough to just get through a verbal argument. You have to rise above it so totally that the other person feels bad for trying to bring you down. That's the reason this line works. Not because it's smart, not because it cuts, but because it shows complete control over oneself. People start to respect you or stay away from you once they understand they can't shake you. You win either way. Be calm and collected when someone yells, tantrums, or acts out emotionally toward you. Don't add to their chaos. Do not answer. Do not spend too much time explaining things. Take a break. Take deep breaths. Say, "I see you're upset," looking them in the eyes. Don't rush. Do not talk anymore. Quiet will take care of the rest. Follow the fire as it flickers and then goes out. Make them feel the weight of what they did. Finally, notice how their power goes away as soon as you don't give it to them. Trick number 4. Let's not talk like this. I respect myself too much. It means, let's not talk like this. I respect myself too much sounds very easy, but it has a lot of power. It is not a plea or an offer to negotiate. Instead, it is a strong statement, a line in the sand. This vocal trick isn't meant to calm or persuade the attacker. It's for your own mental defense and sense of self-worth. Saying these words sends a strong message. You won't have a chat with someone who talks badly about your worth. You are making it very clear that your self-respect is important to you, and that you will not put up with verbal abuse or insults, no matter how stubborn the other person is. Setting this kind of limit is one of the best ways to protect yourself in a heated argument, because it changes the tone from chaos and conflict to respect and order. This line is based on the idea of self-respect, which is something that Stoic thought takes to the highest level. The father of Stoicism, Zeno of Citium, said that virtue is the only real good, and that respecting oneself is one of the most important parts of virtue. Outside events, like insults or violence, don't matter to Stoics. They don't add to or take away from our real worth. What makes us truly valuable is how we act on the inside, especially how we stick to our values and respect our character. When you say, "I respect myself too much," you're saying that your identity and worth come from deeper sources than short-term feelings or attacks from other people. You say that your honor is precious and that it comes first. You don't get into small fights over words because you know that real power comes from self-control and reserve, not from reacting to others. This sentence is also a great way to take back control when things are getting hot. Aggressive people love getting a response from you. Their goal is usually to make you feel unstable mentally, to break down your defenses and take control. But if you stand up for your self-respect, you take the rug out from under their tricks. As an alternative to giving them the emotional fuel they want, you raise the level of the talk. You make the person who hurt you face not only your words, but also your whole personality, what you stand for and what you will not stand for. The person who started the fight is very uncomfortable because this encounter breaks the pattern they were trying to set up. They know that comments and attacks won't hurt you and that they can't hurt you with their words. At that point, their anger loses its edge and often goes inward, making them feel bad about themselves, embarrassed, angry, or even sorry. One more important thing about this phrase is that it doesn't give any room for confusion or negotiation. It's clear, straight, and a good sign. You're not asking for kindness. You want people to respect you. Setting clear boundaries is important for your mental and emotional health in all relationships, whether they are personal, business, or casual. If someone continues to treat you badly after reading this, it says more about their character than yours. They are still rude. even after you've set clear boundaries, which shows they don't respect or control themselves. They feel bad about it in the long run because of that. The fact that they knew they didn't even meet the most basic standards of morality. These people have shown that they can't interact with you in a fair and respectful way. Seneca often told wise people not to waste time and energy on pointless fights and to keep their peace. This idea is similar to what he said. It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable, Seneca said. You claim that power by refusing to use harmful words. You protect yourself from being emotionally worn out, angry, and frustrated. Either way, this line is a way to take care of yourself. In the same breath, it keeps you calm and lets others know that you are not someone to be brushed off or ignored. This way of talking also works as a gentle form of social correction. In a roundabout way, it tells the attacker what kind of behavior you demand and expect. Most pushy people don't realize how their words affect other people because they are too caught up in their own problems. You can ask someone to think about their behavior without being mean or blaming them when you hold up a mirror to your own self-respect. This may sometimes make them change how they're acting, which can calm them down and allow for better conversation. This limit can help calm things down and bring people together if the aggressor is reasonable. If not, you can then stop interacting with them without feeling guilty or angry because you made your bounds clear. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman ruler and Stoic philosopher, talks more about this way of thinking. In his Meditations, he tells us to keep our thoughts clear and our spirits from being affected by things going on around us. He wrote, "I will gladly change if someone can show me that what I think or do is wrong. I seek the truth, which has never really hurt anyone. If someone can't convince me and instead tries to show me how strong they are or confuse me, I won't do it out of respect for myself." The Stoic idea of protecting one's inner fortress is shown in this text. You're still willing to hear the truth, but you're strong against disrespect. Let's not talk like this. I respect myself too much shows that balance, being willing to have a worthwhile conversation, but not putting up with aggression. This phrase gives you the power to regain your voice and control. When people are attacked, they often feel shut down or overpowered. They might say sorry for no reason or try to calm down by playing down their own feelings. This makes the aggressor stronger and makes your situation weaker. But when you make your self-respect clear, you break that loop. You take back the story. You show that you deserve respect and won't settle for anything less than that, not just with words, but also by being there and being sure of yourself. Because of this change, you are now the calm center, and the attacker is the one who is out of control. It's important not to underestimate how this strategy will affect the attacker's mind. A lot of the time, anger hides greater insecurity or unresolved inner conflict. When you don't connect with them on an emotional level and instead stand up for yourself, they have to face the hard truth about how they behave. Because they know their attack won't work, they often feel embarrassed or ashamed. This emotional conflict can make someone say sorry or pull away because they can't stay angry when they have such strong self-respect. The person who attacked you is left alone to be negative, while you stay grounded and admired. This line can make a difference in the real world. Whether it's a hostile coworker, a difficult family member, or a stranger who wants to start a fight, being clear and cool about your self-respect calms things down and establishes your authority. It lets everyone know that you are not someone who will be verbally abused. Once you have a good image, it will always protect you. It will get easier to use this verbal boundary the more you do it, and your calm strength will shine through easily. People will notice, and they'll think twice before coming up to you violently. Finally, keep in mind that the only way to really be powerful is to direct yourself, not other people. Epictetus once said, "What matters is not what happens to you, but how you adapt to it." Let's not talk like this, they said. You have complete control over how you respond when you say, "I respect myself too much." You refuse to get involved in the chaos, and you raise the level of the talk to one based on respect for yourself and others. In times of conflict, this is how Stoic wisdom can be applied. Keep your inner fortress strong, be clear about your limits, and avoid any interaction that makes you feel threatened. In conclusion, this line is more than just a trick. It's a statement of who you are and how much you respect yourself. It lets people know that your honor is important to you and that you won't let them break it with anger or words. When the attacker sees such clear boundaries and constant calm, they often have to say sorry or back off, understanding that their attack didn't work. This is the quiet power of the Stoic way of thinking at work. It is calm, determined, and hard to shake. Trick number 5, you're better than this. I've seen it. Now we'll move from pure defense to an offensive style that is quiet but very successful, and it never gets angry or rude. "You are better than this" is a saying. "I've seen it" sounds very easy, but it has a lot of psychological and philosophical power. This line is different from direct confrontation or anger because it appeals to the attacker's hidden guilt and their ideal self, the person they may have forgotten or pushed down while they are angry. People who are angry often hide behind a mask made of fear, pain, nervousness, or even a desperate need to control what's going on around them. It looks like this mask is strong, but it is actually very weak and easy to break. By telling the person who hurt you, "You're better than this," saying, "I've seen it," doesn't mean you agree with their anger. It just means you want to show them the real truth behind their anger. You tell them that the person they are right now isn't the whole story. It's not the person you really see or the person they want to be. This strategy works because it doesn't make people defensive by accusing or getting angry, but instead it makes them think and feel shame, the kind that comes from having their dignity broken. It questions who they are, not how powerful they are. In a way, it says, "You are not this hostile and angry person. I know you're better than that." The attacker is put in a tough spot by this small but important difference. They suddenly understand that what they're doing is not only hurting other people, but also failing them. Marcus Aurelius was a Stoic ruler who was both strong and smart. In his meditations, he said, "Don't waste time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This quote says everything you need to know about this speaking trick. You don't argue or respond to anger. Instead, you remain cool, good, and virtuous. Being honest is important to you, so you choose to lead by example instead of getting involved in the fight. "You're better than this" is a phrase. "I've seen it" acts as a quiet but strong mirror, showing back to the aggressor what Marcus asked for. Not excuses or arguments, but actions that are moral. This line is powerful because it can make the person who is attacking feel tense inside. On the surface, they may try to keep their aggressive attitude, and out of frustration, they may even get even more angry. But deep down, there is a fight going on between the person they show the world and the person they know or hope they are. This tension inside is very important because it changes the battlefield from an outside conflict to an inside one. The attacker looks inward because they have to deal with the difference between how they act and how they see themselves. This inner conflict doesn't always go away during the instant confrontation. It's building up in the background of their thoughts, just below the surface. When the noise of the moment dies down and they are alone with their thoughts, your words will be heard more clearly. When people realize they haven't lived up to their own expectations, it can make them feel bad, guilty, or even humble. And these feelings, unlike raw anger, make it easier to say sorry and make things right. From a psychological point of view, this method stops aggression by messing up the aggressor's story. People who are aggressive often try to explain their actions by saying they are victims or moral protectors. You don't give them that reason when you tell them, "You're better than this." When they are mean to you, you don't give in or fight back. Instead, you change the subject to one about character and honesty. This new way of looking at things makes it harder for them to keep attacking without feeling bad about it. This method also fits nicely with the Stoic idea that we should focus on what we can control, our own actions and character, while acknowledging that we can't directly change how other people act. When bad things happen, how you handle them is what counts, as Epictetus said. You are in charge of your response when you use this phrase. You don't get angry or defensive in response. Instead, you reach out to the aggressor's better nature, even if it's just to make them think about themselves. This way of talking also shows a high level of emotional intelligence and leadership. It shows that you are not just a passive target, but a grown person who can stay calm, respectful, and dignified even when people are mean to you. Leaders and followers of Stoicism know that real power comes from controlling oneself, not from controlling other people. When you stick to your beliefs and don't get involved in the fight, you show a moral power that most attackers can't handle. "You're better than this" is a phrase. When someone says, "I've seen it," it changes things because it gives the attacker hope and possibilities. You're telling them that you think they can change the way they're acting. This idea can change things, even if it's not said out loud. People want to be noticed and liked, especially by people they care about or don't want to lose. By showing that you have quiet faith in their better selves, you tap into a powerful drive to help them get better. "You're better than this? I've seen it" isn't just a response. It's an intellectual and strategic move in the middle of a fight. When the aggressor does this, they go from being hostile and reacting to something thoughtful and self-aware. It forces them to face the difference between how they act and who they really are or could be. And by doing that, it makes room for regret, an explanation, or at least a break that can stop the anger from spreading. Stoic advice comes to life in this way of dealing with anger. Use reason and virtue as your shield and your sword. It's a lesson that being strong doesn't mean responding with violence. Instead, it means staying true to who you are and encouraging others to do the same. If someone is being mean, this phrase can often scare them more than a loud voice because it shows how weak they really are. So remember this speech trick the next time someone is mean or angry towards you. Face fire with cool truth instead of fire. Tell them, "You're not like this. I saw it." Watch how it makes the attacker feel uneasy and makes them stumble, think, and maybe feel bad about what they did. The most important thing is to notice how it keeps your mind strong, clear, and unshaken. That is real power. Trick number 6. You can say what you want, but I don't allow people to talk to me like that. The last vocal trick is simply the most important and easiest to understand. It's not a flashy response or a clever way to use language. It's the basis of all good conversation when someone is angry. You can say what you want. The phrase, "but I don't let people talk to me like that," makes your personal limits clear, calm, and firm. This sentence says that while other people may be free to talk about their feelings or anger, you have the unalienable right to keep your mental space and respect. Respect is not something that is offered or received lightly. It is something that is demanded by being sure of your own worth. When someone is mean, our natural reaction is to either back down or fight back with equal force. Both options have consequences. Giving in can hurt your self-respect, and reacting can make things worse and feed the anger. The powerful thing about this vocal trick is that it doesn't play on those normal emotional levels. There is no submission or counterattack in it. Instead, it is a declaration of control over your own mind and emotions. Controlling the attacker is not the point. The point is to take control of yourself and your space. "No man is free who is not master of himself," said Epictetus, one of the most important Stoic philosophers. This wise advice makes it clear what's at stake. When you have control over yourself, you also have control over the limits you set for others. These limits keep our peace and keep them from entering our mental space. I told them, "You say what you want." The words that show that mastery are, "But I don't let people talk to me like that." It makes a clear line that shouldn't be crossed, but calm power can do it. It is important to remember that this line is not normally a challenge or an order. It doesn't ask the other person to change what they say or how they act. Instead, it just lists the rules for the interaction. You're not negotiating the attacker's right to free speech. You're setting the rules for how you will deal with each other. This difference is small but important. It changes the situation from a fight to setting limits. You accept the other person's right to speak, but you also protect your own right to not put up with abuse or disrespect. When said with calm confidence, this word has a weight that people who are angry don't expect. People who are aggressive often enjoy making other people feel bad. They want to upset their target, to push buttons, and to make things go crazy. You can't give them emotional fuel, though, if you stay calm and set clear limits. Marcus Aurelius said that you become like a rock that can't be moved in the storm of their anger. As soon as you refuse to get into the emotional fight the aggressor wanted, their tools become blunt and useless. Setting cool limits in this way is a real test of Stoic strength. Choose not to be hurt, and you won't feel hurt, Marcus Aurelius said. Don't worry, you haven't been hurt. Abuse of words and feelings is what is wrong in this case. You choose not to get hurt by not letting rudeness into your space. You don't let the person who attacked you put their bad energy on you. Epictetus says that in order to be free, we must first control ourselves. This choice is what freedom is all about. Being in charge of your mind means being in charge of the places and people you let into your life. This verbal line can have a big effect on the person who is being mean. Being met with a calm refuse can be scary for someone who is used to using force to control others. At first, they might be shocked, angry, or confused because it goes against what they expect. Their goal is to fight or be pinned down, but they don't get either. Their pattern is broken by this unexpected reaction. You don't need to shout, you don't need to argue, you don't need to lose control. The most dangerous response to aggression is silence, composure, and precision. Aggressive people feed on weakness. They want you to react, they want to dominate. But the moment you respond with calm, controlled words that flip the power, they feel it. And deep down, they know they've already lost. This isn't about being rude. It's about setting a standard, one they can't reach. In this video, you'll learn 6 verbal tricks that don't just shut aggressive people down, they leave them embarrassed, exposed, and sorry, not by force, but by self-mastery. Let's begin. The aggressor is left open, their words useless, and their efforts to stir up trouble unsuccessful. You're tall not because you yelled louder, but because you kept your voice clear. This level of self-mastery is rare and valuable in life. Most people move without thinking or give up to avoid a fight. You choose a different road, though, by using these Stoic-based verbal tricks. You pick power without being mean, firmness without being mean, and peace without being passive. This is how the Stoic way of thinking works in real life. The guts to tell them, you say what you want. But people can't talk to me that way. Is the power to keep your mind and heart safe. It's the strength to live through other people's storms without being affected by them. It gives you the freedom to really be free. So remember these 6 vocal tricks the next time someone is mean to you. You can use them to calm down, change your point of view, make your point clear, and finally, protect your sacred place. Watch as people who used to be mean and try to break you down become confused, weak, and finally sorry. Always remember to stay strong, cool, and in charge. Being smart isn't necessary to be verbally dominant. It has to do with staying cool. You have to really know yourself so well that no one, not even the meanest voice, can drag you down. These 6 clever ways to talk don't mean to make people feel small. They are about protecting yourself from being hurt, not moved. A Stoic. What's with the irony? That's exactly what makes the person who hurt you feel bad. They didn't fight you. You showed them. You let what they said show how weak they are, and your silence shows how strong you are. Learn these. Live them. You won't have to shout ever again.